Today we're making a Halloween tree and a lighted Halloween sign. Keep watching. I'm Brandy and this is Making It My Own DIYs. The first project will be our Halloween tree. Alright, so as you watch me take this tomato cage or this little plant cage that you get in the summertime. Now mine we already had for some plants that we had put back a few years ago in the summer. I'm just going to run down really quickly the supplies that you are going to need. Now this is not going to be maybe the most budget friendly for some people. I guess that would really depend on your size of budget and if you just want to make things on your own. I had a wonderful time creating this, so I'll share with you how I did it. And then if you prefer just to have your own tree, that you've already bought, perhaps you got something on clearance last year at a really good bargain, that's fine, because this tree is going to take me about $44 to make. But I'll tell you what I had just in case you want to duplicate it, because it turns out really nice. I used 18 Dollar Tree Halloween trees. These are the black and orange trees, but you can really use any color that you like. I used 2 dahlia picks from Walmart. But if you don't want to get those, the ones I chose were the black and orange, but you can get 5 or 6 of the Dollar Tree picks that are black and orange to get the kind of look that we're going for. Okay, see here how you're going to fluff your tree out, leave it flat on one side. We're going to put that down on the cage. And I'm going to put the bottom to the bottom and the top to the top. It just so happens that the trees fit to the point where you can use zip ties to attach them to the next row up, and that makes it perfect. So I've attached it there, and I'm just going to go on the little crossbars that go down and put them on with zip ties and then trim off the excess. I'll go around the bottom and do the same thing to secure it down. Alright, so the next thing you're going to need is a strand of string lights. These I got while thrifting. They are candy corn colored. If you use Dollar Tree lights, you're going to have to use many strands to get the look for the size of a tree. So if you have some old Christmas tree lights, you can use these. I am going to be using some bone skulls. I got those off of some picks that I got at the dirt cheap store. And I think I paid 50 cents for those. 2 Dollar Tree Plus candy corn garlands. These are $3 each and they are gorgeous and thick. Love them. You'll need some floral wire or some zip ties to attach everything down. You're going to need electrical tape to go over the top so that you don't poke your fingers, because the cage is open normally and you want to close the top like I did. I just used some painter's tape up there, but electrical tape is kind of stretchy and it may work better for you. Of course, you're going to need a tomato cage. And let's see. And then I used some of those glitter picks from Dollar Tree. All right. So there's our list of supplies mixed in there. I'm dancing. Y'all, I'm dancing here. I have my 80s music going. I'm going to apply the first row. There's going to be 3 on the bottom of the cage. It's going to be each little tree is going to go across the down section there and the sections that go around the middle. So there'll be initially 3 trees on the bottom, 3 trees in the middle section, 3 trees on the top section, and then we'll fill in between. So I'm just letting you see here how I'm doing that, and I realize I am sort of blocking the view, but hopefully by telling you what I'm doing, you get the drift. This was a day that I had been painting, that I had been sweating, I had been taking items that I was going to donate to the thrift store, so I was putting those all together to kind of clean out a place in the garage to put my new tools, and I was a mess. So no makeup and red-faced, and I'm trying to spare y'all that Halloween disaster. Okay, take my word for it. Alright, so I'm just going to continue to go around here to make this tree. Obviously, if you do not want to watch this part because you're not interested in doing your own, you can just skip over this. Just kind of, grab your little bar there and just slide across till you get to the part where we're decorating. Okay? So where you see me right now, also, just FYI, this is my studio. This is where I do all my crafting. You can see that I've got some florals and a shoe organizer there on the wall. I have some florals in the buckets behind my work table. There's my paints over there. I have my cubicles that have all kinds of goodies to craft with in there. Down on the floor to the left is a little bench that's open. I got it from At Home a few years ago on a fantastic clearance. I think I paid $5 for it. We're going to do something for fall with that. And then to my right, those blue bins are on some tall cubicles, and they also have supplies and thrifted items inside. I had some questions about organization from someone recently, so I just wanted to kind of share that to show you what I do. Okay, so with these trees, keep in mind the very top of them is folded down, and you will pull that up. That'll be one long piece right in the middle. That makes it very convenient to attach it down to the cage here. You can actually use that to help hold it in place and wrap it around the top. Give it a little more stability. Oh gosh, there's the dance again. Oh, I'm singing. Oh boy. Okay. Okay, so you see how I pulled that one piece out there? I'm going to take that strand, and you can just take that and wrap it around wherever you need to add a little more stability. You can't really hang anything off of it. It's not very stable. Okay, so you see that I'm just going upwards, stacking one on top of the other, going from the bottom to the top so that I can kind of overlap a little bit. But I suppose you could go from the top to the bottom. It's just up to you. Working on the bottom works best for me though. So I will have 3 in the bottom again, 3 in the center section, and there will be 3 on the top. Now I won't make you watch me do this entire thing. Just to get the idea though, I'm just going to show you this part. When you put your trees together from the middle section, the bottom section to the middle section, you can actually zip tie the stem of the tree, you know, the bottom where I have my hand right now, right over the top of the other tree. Go sideways with your zip tie, and that will hold it on that ring too, which seems to give it a lot more stability. I mean, this thing is sturdy when I'm finished with it. Really sturdy. I really enjoyed this though. I mean, think of all the possibilities here. Say you don't do Halloween, but I've heard that some of my viewers enjoy watching my videos, even if they don't do a certain holiday, okay? They don't decorate for a certain holiday. Use this as inspiration as always, and think about this if you used green and you could make a little Christmas tree. That would be great. And then this would be the kind of Christmas tree you could keep outside, possibly on your porch, obviously if it was safe. I am going to create a base for this as well, so you'll get to see it in its glory in a few minutes. Now once all of those are on, those first 9, you want to fluff it out. Now you can see where the open gaps are on the bottom and in the 3rd row. You see that, right? That's where you're going to go in with your extra trees, and you're going to fill that in. This time I started at the top. I'm going to wrap the wire from the 2nd tree there around, then trying to get the zip tie to attach those 2 pieces together so I don't have the ugly metal sticking out. You could also spray paint that metal part if you want to. And if any of the threading unravels, just cut it off. It's not important at all. And we're going to fill this thing up. We're going to fill it up. I mean, it is going to be stuffed full of Halloween goodness. And then as the holiday, as we're making more and more things, we'll be making ornaments. And I can remove some of the things that I've put on there now to put our ornaments on. Okay, so once I get that done, I'm going to go ahead and just use some wire on the top to make sure that this does not pop loose. Trying to make sure they line up because they'll slide back and forth. But I'm going to go all around it to make sure that it does not pop loose. And then I'm leaving it open in the top because I want to put something on the top there. So I'm going to use the framework to put something on the top. All right, so now once you get all those trees on there, you can fluff it out. I don't know if the tomato cages come in one standard size. I've always only found them in one size, but if you get one that's smaller, maybe you could take the smaller one and use less trees. But look how full that is. Yes, 18 trees, but look at the fullness. Really like this. Now for the branches that are longer, push them sort of downward and outward so that you don't have a tree that looks like it's got a bunch of hollow spots in it, you know, tree, tree, tree. No, you want this to look like it is one solid tree. So try to get the branches in a position where they look like they belong together. You can see me pushing the longer branches down. You see? And then you see the left side of it. You see the difference between the right and the left? Yeah, so you can see the difference there. And I'm just going to push them down so that I get that conical form. That's what I want in here. I still want it to look the shape of, like, you know, an evergreen tree. But fluff it out, push your branches around, make sure that everything is solid and gives you a nice look. This is how it's going to look when we get it stuffed. Now, yes, you can still see through it, but you won't when we get done. Okay? This is 18 trees. So here are those lights I told you about. They are so cute, and you know I love my candy corn. So I'm just going to go around here and put that top piece in the top, and then we all know how to wrap a tree. It's generally easier if you have the lights on when you wrap your tree, because then you can get your spacing right. I put mine on here, and I was so excited that I put them on there kind of in a hurry, and I didn't use my own advice. But, you know, you can always adjust it once you get it how you like it. I don't want to pull this too tightly because I don't want their branches to be pressed down by it. I don't want to lose my shape. So I'm going to continue around. And y'all, that's not a bobo on my arm, by the way. That's just a paint. That's paint mark. So yeah, I told you, it's a working day. So you can use things like this from Dollar Tree. They've got some bright orange little pomegranates. That could certainly be something you could use to decorate if you would like. And then these are the beautiful dahlias that I got from Walmart, and they had just a little bit of sparkle on the black. These are stunning, and they were only $3, like $3.80 something, I think. So those are there if you like those. And then I have some deco mesh that I got from the thrift store, and I just decided, and this is the 10-inch, I just decided that I wanted to use this as like another layer of goodness, you know? So I'm going to use it almost like you would like a tinsel garland, something like that. And I'm just going to bunch it up, tuck it into the branches, kind of wrap the little branches around it like we do when we make our wreaths or our swags with the little trees. We've done lots of those together. And then once I feel like that is secure enough, I'm just going to make some little poofs. I don't do any measuring here. If I had to guess, these are about 10 or 12 inch kind of little poofs. And I'm just going to make a little poof, grab it up, and then cross my branches over it so that it looks like it's, you know, kind of floating above the tree, but not necessarily pushed down into the tree. Because again, I don't want to press this in and make it flat. So this is all I want to put of that on here, but doesn't it give it a nice look? I like that. I think it's cute. But you can skip it if you like. Here are those little sparkly branches that I talked about. And these are so messy, but oh my goodness, the look they give is beautiful. I love the look they give. So I'm just going to flex them out a little bit, kind of give them a little more body and a little more shape rather than being flat when I put them into the tree. And I'm just going to place these here and there, almost like when you follow the spiral around the tree for my placement. And again, I used 8 of those. So I'm going to do the front and the back. I do not have to decorate this entire tree because the place that I am putting this for now in my craft space, you can't see the back. It will only be the sides and the front that you'll see. So this is how it's going to look so far. Y'all please excuse my messy craft room. If you craft, you know how it is. All right, so now I want to start adding my flowers. I'm going to push all of that black foliage up to the top so that I get that fullness, and then I will cut these off. I'm trying to leave the branches a little bit, or the stems a little bit long, so that they sit nicely inside the tree and my flower won't fall out. Because remember, the inside of this is hollow, so there's nothing to support what you're putting in there except for your branches on the outside. You don't want anything heavy. So those little pomegranates, these little little pieces of sparkles and these flowers. All of those things are very lightweight, and they will hold light ornaments and light pieces. So I'm going to add some of the orange too. I just put the black in first, and now I'm going to add some orange. And I know you can't see that, but I promise you I'll show you in a minute. Okay, see that? All right. Sorry about that. I'm telling you, I'm my own cameraman. Okay, so put those in there. Just space them out, you know, so you get a good look on there. I'm going to pull this off of that pick. Remember I told you I had some foam pieces? I'm just going to pull that off. And then I will be putting this right up in the top of the tree. You see this beautiful veil? That came from Claire's, but I didn't get it at Claire's. I got it at Dirt Cheap, which is a closeout store, in case any of you are new to my channel. I love to pull pieces off of other things and use them. So I was inspired by this piece. I pulled it off and plucked it right down on the wires on the top. You can use all these little pieces here, your little stem pieces, for other things. So since I don't need them for my flowers, I'm going to use them to make little picks out of the skulls that I pulled off of that beautiful veil. And for those of you who were saying, oh my gosh, why did you destroy the veil? Don't worry, y'all, I have another one. Yeah, I have another one. Okay, so here's the beautiful candy corn garland. Look at it, y'all. Now, obviously, you know, we're getting this at a low price. It is not going to be absolutely perfect. The polka dots are not absolutely perfect on some of these. Paint job is not perfect. But that doesn't matter to me. You know, I like a vintage style, so let's just pretend that these have been around for many, many years. Let's just say that, okay? Yes, let's do that. And if you have a piece that doesn't look as great on one side as the other, just flip it over. The tree is going to support it, so you'll be fine. So I used 2 strands on this, and I just wrapped it around, and I like to try to get it spaced out evenly. So, you know, I'll move some things around a little bit to get them in the right place. And even after I put the second one on, I'll be kind of moving it a little bit to make sure that I have a sort of a balanced representation of all of the little pieces. Look how pretty it is. Oh man, if y'all don't have a Dollar Tree Plus, maybe search your areas to see if there's anything near you, or maybe you're going to the doctor one day in another town and you need to take a trip. Well, take the opportunity to look and see if there are other Dollar Trees. I'm going to use this planner that I have had forever. There's the top. I have the bottom piece. I'm going to spray paint it a glossy black. Why glossy? Because that's the only black spray paint I had left. And then it goes together like this. We're going to set the cage right on top. It fits great in there. And here is the final result. Now this is the tree without the lights on. Look how beautifully full that is. And look, I've just tucked in some extra things on the bottom, and after this video I actually tucked some more in because I could really see where I was missing. Some more greenery picks that are the fall colors, of course, and some more Halloween looking stuff hooked in the bottom. And this tree is pretty big. It's pretty big and it's pretty full. I also added these little polka dot flowers with the rhinestones in the middle. Now, as I said, some of these things will be removed as I add more things. So the garlands and things will stay, but I'll be taking off the faux flowers and such. Look at that. Isn't that something? And you could certainly use more strands of light if you want a lot more light for your tree. I really hope that y'all enjoy this and us making this together because it was highly, highly requested. So I wanted to do this for those of you who were interested in this. See the bottom now with all the little things tucked in? Yes. Take this inspiration and think of what you can do to make it your own. The next project will be our big light up sign. So here are the projects you're going to need. You'll need the ghost cutout, pumpkin cutout, the white chalk paint, orange chalk paint, string lights, bead strands, black foam board, tower blocks, glue, brushes and tools. That part got skipped could not find the footage. So I put it there for you so you can make a screenshot and go get those supplies. Now these are the big pumpkin and ghost that Dollar Tree is now putting out. These are not the small ones. These are the large ones. All right, so I'm taking this sheepskin chalk paint, coloring the ghost with that. I wanted the more of a creamy white. And then here's the orange on that big pumpkin. See how large they are? Now I am going to antique it with a little bit of antiquing wax. Just put it in my tray. I'm going to grab my little chippy brush. Chippy brush just means it's a cheap brush that is pretty sturdy. And we like to use these for aging techniques and different types of painting techniques. So I love making things look old. So if you are one of my viewers who does not like the aging techniques, you don't have to do this. You certainly don't have to do it, but for my home and for most of my viewers, this is the look that you like. And the end results are gorgeous. I really do have to say, I think that this is just so pretty and festive for Halloween. So y'all hang with me. I'm going to go all over the edge. Be sure that your chalk paint is very dry. And the good thing about chalk paint is that it dries pretty quick. In my opinion, it dries faster than acrylic paint. So it makes it very convenient when we're doing videos to share with people. Okay, so if you get a little heavy-handed, and like I do in some places, just grab a paper towel or a napkin and you can just rub that out. This is a wax, not a paint. So you can, you have a little room to move that around a bit. And then also you can go back over any of that with with your orange paint if you get a spot that you don't like. Also, I would like to add, in my last video that we did with the skull and the raven, there is a technique that you can use the like a coffee wash to do the aging. And if you would like to use that, you can go watch that video and I'll tell you exactly how we do that. All right, so as we're going to go around all of the edges, of course. I don't have to do the very top because I'm not going to need that, but around all of the eyes. And you see the difference? It just really pops when you do this. So I'm going to go around the eyes, I'm going to go around the nose, the teeth, all the part of the mouth, and just give this a very aged, look at that, aged look. I'm going to grab my paper towel, of course, now this is a dry paper towel, and just rubbing this or buffing this out is going to give this more of a faded look, which gives me the age that I am trying to achieve with this project. So I hope you like this. I hope that the techniques that I show you will give you some ideas of things you can do to make your crafts your own. All right, so in areas that you have that are smaller, grab a smaller brush. This is a stenciling brush. It's very stiff, but it works well in small spaces. So I'm just going to use it around the teeth and in all those little tight areas that I can't necessarily get to with a bigger brush. Doesn't that make a difference? Mm-hmm. So tell me what kind of decorating style you're going to be using for Halloween this year. I would love to know because it will help me with making content for you. So let's give the ghost the same makeover the pumpkin got. We're going to age him too. I think it gives it more of a spooky look, and the aging it just does something to my heart. I love the vintage, y'all. I'm 50 years old, and things from my childhood and things from before that time, really, I just love it. It just resonates with me. So I like to use those types of styles, and I know that a lot of my viewers grew up in a time period where, things were different than all the stuff that's modern today. And of course, I have a great appreciation for campy also, and I will be doing some campy Halloween too. So if that is what you like, that's your jam, I'm going to be making some of that too. I want to tell you, by the way, while I'm doing this and you can watch, that I really appreciate all of you who congratulated me on my 50,000 subscribers. Y'all don't know how much it touches me that you take your time, your very precious time in a busy world, to come over to my channel and encourage me and watch my videos. Even if it's not something that you particularly would use, you still come over and you say hi and you support me and you watch the video, which helps my channel so much. And anytime you do anything to help my channel, it helps my family. It helps my 4 kids, the 2 adults, the 2 little ones. It helps me. It helps everything. I'm even going to be able to start a college fund for my kids, and that you can't even understand how that feels to be able to do that. And it is so very appreciated. None of what I have achieved could be done without y'all. And I love y'all so much for that. And I just want to take the opportunity again to thank you for that. To thank you for all that you do to support and encourage me. Okay, so what do you think? Yeah, I think they look good. Yes. Rustic and aged and just gorgeous. So of course, we want this little ghost to be above this pumpkin. I'm going to get my placement and then flip it over. And then I'm going to try to keep it in place so I know pretty much how I want it to lay back down and I don't accidentally glue the wrong thing. Okay, so there is my glue. And I am going to put this right down on the top. Now this is going to be a project you're going to want to keep indoors because it is not going to be waterproof with the foam board that we're using. But you can certainly use wood, you could use Fix-All adhesive, you could use E6000, you know, get the inspiration from it and then think of how you could do it to make it weatherproof, to put it outside, if that's what you chose to do. Now, so here are all those tower blocks that I already had, so no additional cost, already had them. And I'm going to be adding these as supports around these spaces where we're going to put the wire. This is going to help me string the wire around the mouth, the eyes, the nose that is down there in the pumpkin, and hold everything in place. You could also go over the back. This wood is very thin, very, very thin. You could go over the back, maybe use 2 of the ghosts and 2 of the pumpkins and put them together. You could perhaps cover up some of the lights if you don't want them to show, because in the end, even though the time was taken to position these blocks to have a space to put the wire, there's still lights that you can see right through the ghost and the pumpkin. I'm not bothered by that though. That doesn't bother me at all. I just really wanted to make sure that around the eyes and the mouth and the nose, there were definitely lights in that area. So you'll see in the end though what I'm talking about, and then you can make your decision from there. Now I'm using these blocks on their side, so they're at the shortest height they can be, right? They're laying flat down. I am going to be adding another layer on top of these in just a moment, just to show you that we need to allow enough space for the box that our lights have batteries in, right? Got to have room because we want to put it on the back and hide it. I don't want any wires showing on the front. So I'm going to show you how you can do that. Get those supports in there good. I mean, really make sure that you have as much around there as you can. If you don't have tower blocks, what else could you do here to do that? You could perhaps use some tape and just tape your lights in space if you want to. Just tape them down. You could do that. I'm going to use a little hot glue with my supports to help hold everything in. This really gives some weight to it as well, so I don't have to worry about my project falling over, because it's very lightweight like I mentioned, and then the foam board that we use is going to be very lightweight as well. Y'all, I'm going to tell you a memory I had while I was doing all of these projects. When I was in I think it was the 5th grade, my stepmother made Halloween costumes for all 4 of us kids. We were animals. I was a lion, and I absolutely loved it. It had the little furry cuffs, it had the tail with the little puff on the end of it, and it had the mane. You cannot even know. And I have dressed up so many different ways for Halloween and even as an adult. But that little costume, I wish that it was somewhere that I had it, you know, because it meant so much. You don't think about it when you're a kid, but as an adult, you think of all the work that it took her to make 4 costumes for 4 kids with that much detail. I mean, she really did it, and we were so, I don't know if the rest of the kids were as excited as I was, but I remember. And if my sister, I know you're watching this video, can you remember? You were in the 3rd grade. You probably don't remember, but can you remember which one you were? I don't remember what the rest of y'all were. Somebody was gray, though. I don't know if it was a gray squirrel or a cat or a raccoon. I don't, maybe that was my brother. I don't know for sure. But yeah, I remember that. And you know, those handmade things, even back then, are just, they're so important, and they're so, I guess the work that goes behind it, you know, is just so appreciated now that I'm an adult, and I didn't see it then. So if you are watching this, you know, for my stepmom who worked so hard on those, I really do appreciate it and love you for it. All right, so now we are wired up. I used a little hot glue. I used a little bit of paper around the eyes to just, you know, kind of hold it in place. Now I'm testing the thickness of the battery pack, and it is thicker than the Jenga block or the building tower block. So I'm just going to add additional ones here and there, mainly to support and to hide that box. So I'm just going to go around and put these in different areas. Added some more on the top so that I'll have some stability. Now these particular lights, I don't have a back for. I looked and found several backs, but you know, of course, none of them fit. I'm going to wrap a little plasticky part that doesn't have the lights on it just around the back. And then I can use a little bit of double stick tape or some of that nano tape to press it down and hold it into place, where I can be sure to still get my finger in there to turn the light on and off. And so this is that tape. Somebody had asked me about this. I don't know what it's called at Walmart, so if you do know, let me know. It is double stick. It is really thick, like a gel-like texture, is the best way I could put it. It's, you know, and it has a wonderful adhesion. It is really good. I get mine off of Temu, and it is called nano tape, but I'm not sure what it's called at Walmart. So I'm going to put those on those double blocks, so the ones we doubled up, and we're going to use that to stick it down to the foam board. Because, you know, foam board has foam in it. If you put hot glue on it, it won't necessarily stick. It could stick and then peel off when you lift your project up, and we don't want that. I'm going to save you the trouble by doing the work. All right, so we're going to press everything down into place. And only press where you put those extra supports now, so pay attention. And then I'm going to take this strand of beads and go all the way around. I had 2 strands that I had thrifted and has been in my decor. I've been using it as decor, but now I'm going to be using it as, I'm going to give it new life and use it on a new decor piece. I love that it already looked aged, so it matched perfectly to outline this. If you don't already have something that is like coordinating colors, you could of course spray paint it or chalk paint it, or you can just buy the raw beads and color them yourself. If you don't like that, buy a piece of garland that's already put together. You could also use a tinsel from, you know, Dollar Tree. If you like that look, you can put that on there. Continue going around. I'm just going to curve around my edges. It's so much easier to do this if it is still on the string. I don't recommend you take the beads off and do it individually. It will take forever. And this is how the sign will look. Now this is the sign without being lit up. Looks gorgeous as it is, right? I think so. I think it matches what we have going on already for Halloween this year. Then this is the beautiful piece when it is lit up with the lights on. And I'm going to give you also a look at this with the lights off. If y'all have enjoyed this video, please be sure to subscribe, hit the like button, and perhaps share it with somebody who you think would enjoy it. It helps my channel a lot, and it lets me know that I'm doing something that you enjoy and that is valuable to you. I always want to bring you the things that you want to see. So you can see there through the pumpkin, you can still kind of see the lights there. That is what you want. That's a good look. I like that it's bright, and I like that you can see it glowing. and that it looks just as good when the lights are not on. I hope you have enjoyed these two projects. I hope that you consider doing these for your home. Both of these are large and budget friendly. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye.